What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am LessAlex for Quiet Speculation and QuietSpeculation.com, your #1 source for Magic the Gathering finance and strategy on the internet. Today, I'm going to be playing my Azorius Control deck in Explorer on Arena. Now, I will say this deck transfers over very nicely to Pioneer, so if you're playing in any RCQs, locals, 1Ks, anything like that, this deck transfers over beautifully in that format as well. So I love this deck. As a ton of you probably already know, I love Azorius Control. It's my favorite deck. I have a podcast, The Control Freak, and I love this deck in this format. Now, recently, this deck, it's seeing a downturn because it had a really rough showing in Europe over the weekend, but I'm still a firm believer that this deck is very good. If you're coming to this video via YouTube, make sure to check out the companion article over on QuietSpeculation.com, where I go through a little bit more in depth. So go check that article out. And if you're coming from QuietSpeculation.com, welcome in, welcome in. Hope you enjoyed the article. But yeah, with all that stuff out of the way, let's jump into this deck tech, and I will talk about my card selections. So let's start off with Kaheera. Kaheera, the Orphanguard. We are playing a companion, and in the sideboard, we are playing the Kitty Cat Parade. 3 Regal Caracals. This card is excellent against red-black mid-range. In fact, this entire deck is very well positioned against red-black mid-range. The one deck that you pretty much have to be able to beat it in Explorer and in Pioneer. Moving on, though, we have the 1-drops. 2 March of Otherworldly Light. Obviously, this is one of our only pieces of spot removal in the entire 75. It gets rid of enchantments, creatures, and artifacts. Very good card overall. Moving on to the 2s, we've got 4 Make Disappears. This card is growing on me. It is not quite Mana Leak, but it is the best we've got in Pioneer and in Explorer, so that's what we're playing. We're playing 4 of these bad boys. This combined with tokens from the Wandering Emperor and Shark Typhoon, and of course, with Castle Ardenvale, becomes an even better version of Mana Leak. So, Make Disappear, 4 of Dovin's Veto. There are a ton of non-creature spells that we want to counter, and obviously this not being able to be countered itself makes this a very valuable piece in the puzzle that is Azorius Control. So we're running with 3 of them main deck. Next up, we have 4 Temporary Lockdown. Alex, why in the world would you be playing 4 main deck Temporary Lockdowns? Well, turns out this card is absolute gas against red-black. It hits blood tokens, it hits treasures, it hits the Goblin Shaman, it hits Bankbusters. You get the gist. It hits a ton in that deck, and it does pretty decent work against mono green as well. And of course, it's excellent against the Boros Convoke deck, which does see a little bit of play. I have run into it on the ladder, on Arena, and obviously in paper, that deck is everywhere. But Temporary Lockdown, excellent against that deck, and of course, mono white humans. Moving on, we have 4 Absorbs. I know this card gets memed on quite a bit by the, not only Azorius community, the Control community, but the Pioneer community at large. It is just a cancel that gains 3 life, but it is a hard counter spell. Late game, it does matter. We are playing 4 of them. Moving on to the 4 drops, we have 4 Wandering Emperors. This card is a amazing inclusion. I love this card. It's one of my favorite planeswalkers of all time now. It flashes in, it kills their biggest threat that's attacking you, gains you a little bit of life, and then it's also able to pressure opponents' life totals, kill opposing planeswalkers. This card is excellent. Moving on to another 4 mana, 4 times 4 card, we've got Memory Deluge. Memory Deluge, I mean, what can we say about this card that hasn't been already said? It's excellent. You look at the top X cards, and then you get to put 2 of them in your hand. Flashback, you get to end up looking at 7 cards So good. Moving on, we have 2 Supreme Verdicts. 2 Supreme Verdicts. Obviously, every good control deck has its fair amount of sweepers. So this is the best one in the format. So definitely want to play this. And then the face that runs the place, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. The reason you're playing these colors over something like Dimir Control, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria is great. It strikes fear into the hearts of many Magic the Gathering players. But in my opinion, pound for pound, best 5-drop Planeswalker you could get. Moving on then to the 6s, we've got 1 Farewell main deck. This is excellent against red-black. This is excellent against mono-green. Obviously, super late game. It can clean up against humans and other aggro decks. And then we have Shark Typhoon. Bridges the gap from turns 3 to 5. And then if you ever get to resolve this thing, which doesn't happen a lot, but occasionally it does. I mean, you're just slamming the door on your opponent. Very good stuff from Shark Typhoon. And is like super good in the mirror match. Moving on to the sideboard, we've got 27 lands. I'll just go over the hits here and the utility lands. We've got 1 White Castle, 1 Eiganjo, 1 Otawara, 3 Field of Ruins, and 2 Hall of Storm Giants, along with 1 Blue Castle. So we're playing both of the channel lands and both of the castles that are in our colors, along with an alternative win condition, and then, of course, Field of Ruin. Moving on to the sideboard, like I said, Kaheera is our companion. We are playing the cats. Statistically, the cats are just better. I went over that in a recent episode of The Control Freak, so you guys can go check that out if you'd like. But we're also playing 2 Divine Smite. This, of course, comes in against things like... This comes in against stuff like Greasefang. It can also come in against red-black, but definitely Greasefang, you have to have an instant speed way to deal with Greasefang itself. Then we've got 1 Rest in Peace, obviously Greasefang. Moving on, Dovin's Veto and 2 Mystical Disputes. This comes in against blue decks, combo, things of that nature. Next up, we've got Settle the Wreckage. Settle the Wreckage is great against aggro, against the Boros deck, against mono white, against mono red. Settle the Wreckage is awesome when it's awesome. Then we've got Regal Caracol. Like I said, bring this in definitely against red-black, but also you can bring this in the mirror match as well. Put a little pressure on them because they're probably going to cut most of their sweepers, if not all of them. Moving on then, we've got our second Farewell, mono green and red-black. This comes in against... You could even bring this in against aggro, but 6 mana is quite a lot, so keep that in mind. This card is one I definitely want to talk about, Eternal Wanderer. This is the one card that is different than my paper list. Why are we playing Eternal Wanderer? Well, unfortunately, Elspeth Sun's Champion is not legal and not on Magic Arena client as of today, so we have to make do with what we have. Eternal Wanderer does a pretty good Elspeth Sun's Champion impersonation. You can -4 it to, say, against like mono green. They sack all their fatties. They keep a Mano Dork. Pretty decent, but overall, I do believe if you're playing this in paper, Elspeth Sun's Champion is the play. Then we've got a 3rd Shark, and you typically bring this in the grindy matchups, in the blue matchups, things like that. And then, of course, Hullbreaker Horror, you bring this in against Creativity. You bring this in against Azorius Control. That's about it. Obviously, you can't play Kaheera when you board in Hullbreaker, so that might tell them that something's up, but we're still going to be playing Hullbreaker Horror. All right, well, that's the deck list. Again, I'm LessAlex. If you want to chop it up with me elsewhere, hit me up on Twitter, at LessAlex over there. And I stream weekdays over on Twitch at 9 a.m., LessAlex on Twitch. So go check me out over there as well. All right, let's jump into these games. All righty, so match 1, game 1. Land light, but we do have Shark Typhoon to cycle. So we're going to keep this. Now, I think we play Beach because then we can... All right, well, that solves our issue. Looks like we're playing against red-black. And they play Pathway into Bankbuster. Sure thing. All right, Vantress, pass back. And And we do have lockdown for the Bank Buster. Maybe they'll play another 2-drop this turn. Not quite. All right. Well, in that case, let's keep the lands a-flowing. Keep in mind, Shark Typhoon is lights out against red-black, but we want to hit our land drops here, I think. And we do. We will play Beach. And I think for now we'll pass. This is a juicy target for our lockdown, but I think we want to hold up Absorb for their turn 4 play. And they Bank Buster, yep. Draw a card, remove a counter. Let's see what they have in store for us this turn. Thoughtseize. Okay. Now we can let this resolve, however, I'm just going to veto it. They clearly drew that this turn, or else they would have Thoughtseize us prior to this turn. So that's fine, I think. Fable, that's pretty gross. All right, well now we can play Lockdown, tag the Golem, the Goblin and the Bank Buster, and pass back. And maybe we'll draw a land even. So they discard two removal spells rather, and draw 2 cards. Yeah, Fable's very good. Blood Crypt. Is this a Shieldred? Thoughtseize. Okay. So, again, they're drawing these Thoughtseizes. Yeah, they always take Teferi when it's in our hand. Blood Tithe. Sure. This is interesting. Okay, so they'll flip. That's fine. We'll just pass here. We've got Deluge. We really want a Deluge. Obviously, if they play Shieldred or a Planeswalker, we will want to counter it. Actually, if they play Shieldred, we have the Verdict, so no, we won't counter it. But they can attack for 3. I mean, we're in good shape here, I think. It's what, turn 6, and we are at 17 life, so pretty decent. Memory Deluge. I think we take Field and Absorb. All right. Let's just Verdict. Kiki Jiki obviously gets pretty nutty if we let it go unchecked, especially with Blood Tithe. And we'll pass back. Bone Crusher. Sure. We take 2, go to 15. They're probably going to crack a blood here. Unless their hand's stacked, but another Bone Crusher. Sure. We'll go to 13. And they didn't crack the blood, so they have something in their hand that they want to play. Shieldred. Sure. Well, we've got a way to deal with that, so... I think we just 1, 2, 3, 4. No point in doing that. All right. Hallowed Fountain, tapped. We're getting to the point in the game where our life total does start to matter. And they're going to play... Ooh, Invoke Despair. I didn't think that was coming. That's pretty brutal. That's pretty brutal. Okay, well, we're at 9. They're at 18. We've got Lockdown. Let's make sure it's going to tap the correct lands, yes. So we'll lock down Bankbuster and Blood. They're probably going to use Blood unless their hand is just absolute smoke and hot fire. Yeah, they discard. Okay, they discard Blood Tithe. That's fine. We will play land and pass. We've got double Absorb March. So they play Haunted Ridge and Bone Crusher. I think we let the Bone Crusher resolve. Are they going to do double Bone Crusher? All right, well, I'm going to counter that one because now they're tapped out essentially. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3. They have no creature lands on that side. So I think we'll just pass for now. We're going to take 2 from this March. They play Black Clave and Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Well, that seems like it is a must counter at this stage in the game, unfortunately. And right now, we can just actually... Well, let's think about this. Let's just take the 2. We're going to take the 2. Yeah, we're going to take the 2. Get rid of the Bone Crusher. And it's our turn. Ooh, good draw there. We're just going to pass. We've got Deluge. Hopefully they didn't top deck anything insane. I think Shieldred is probably their best draw. That is not Shieldred. We're going to go to 11. And they're going to cast that. That's fine. We're going to cast Memory Deluge instep. Let's make sure it goes to instep. All right, so... Absorb and Deluge seem great. That's a good one. Of a spell. So we can actually kill this with the Eiganjo. Excellent. Love to see it. And we've got Absorb to counter their main phase 2 play. And this isn't a spell, this is an ability. Channeling is an ability, not a spell, obviously. So we don't take the 2 life. Goes to the bin. Blood Tithe. Sure. We will Deluge. Teferi. And I like Veto. I like having a 2-mana play with Teferi. This works out real nice. They might scoop from this when we go up. Because we can double spell on their turn. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Hero's Downfall. Well, we will counter that. Interesting. Haven't seen that in a while. We will untap Field and Hallowed Fountain. Invoke Despair. No, thank you. Where's Blood Tithe going? Or have we had enough? Oh, okay. Yep, Teferi goes to 2. Upsy daisies with Teferi. Oh, we drew a Hall. Let's play that. Let's just pass. We'll just pass. We've got all the things in the world. Tap. Now they don't even have a good attack. I mean, of course, they could have drawn a removal spell. So if they attack, I don't think we block. I think we just Emperor, the Blood Tithe. And we actually minus here for the same reason why we don't haul. Yeah, there we go. Okie doke. Okie dokie. Cool. So, Regal Caracols. The reason we're playing the card. All right. We'll trim a lockdown. And let's trim a march. I like that. All right, so this is how I'm sideboarding. Out, make disappears. We're on the draw. It's not great on the draw. One march. And what was the other thing I cut? Anyways, we brought in... Oh, temporary lockdown, yeah. And we brought in the cats. And a veto. We're on the draw against red-black, mid-range, the menace, the scourge of Pioneer and Explorer. The best 55% deck in the format, huh? All right, well, we've got a couple lands. We're going to draw more. This hand's looking pretty good. As long as we can draw some lands, we can run them up the curve and counter everything. They mulligan. They play that. Oh, excellent. Look at that. Just what the doctor ordered. Play our Irrigated Farmland, pass back. They play, what is that, a Haunted Ridge? Yeah. All right, now we've got Veto for their turn 3 play. And it is a Fable. Perfect. That's their best play on turn 3 other than Liliana of the Veil. We'll play a Beach, and we'll pass back. Love countering their their Fable. Love it. And Shieldred getting the counter as well. Be gone. All right, play that. Next up, in turn. Pass back. They've got 4 in hand. Another Shieldred. Can eat another Absorb. Pass back. We draw the land just as we wanted. We play the Teferi. We uptick. We draw a 2-mana counterspell, please. All right, well, Beach will do. We'll untap our Beaches. Pass back. What have you got for us? Shock in. Invoke Despair will be very good here. Is that what we have? It is. Yep. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. That's okay. We're still in it. Reckoner, Bankbuster. We'll let that resolve. We'll let that resolve. That is a good source of card advantage. No, we wanna deluge here, I think. All right, let's see. March and Hall, I think, are 2 gets. We can lock down, and we don't have mana for... I think we're going to do this. I think we're going to X equals 2, and we're going to pitch an Emperor. Target that. They can draw a card. All right. They would have done that anyways. Ooh, and we got the cats. That's pretty good. Alrighty. They play Swamp. What did we draw off this Invoke Despair? Hero's Downfall. Okay. That's better. Use it on the cat than on... Okay, well, that's unfortunate. We will play that. Tapped. We will not attack. We will end turn. They get to discard cards here, so we'll They don't discard any cards. That's pretty scary, actually. Chandra Hope's Beacon. All right, well, that's going to resolve, unfortunately. Goes to 5. Can go up to 7. Add 2 mana. Okay.
We can do this together.
Add 2 mana. What are we doing with this 2 mana? Is it a Bank Buster? It's a Bone Crusher. Ooh, they got double Bone Crusher. Pretty decent. No attack because they're afraid of Emperor, but that allows us to cast this pretty freely. Okay. Well, this is perfect. I think we take the Deluge, too. Ooh, Cats kind of changes stuff, but I think first... Let's see. Artifacts. No, we don't need artifacts. We need enchantments, creatures, and graveyard. Hitting graveyards... excuse me. Hitting graveyards here. Because they could have Kroxa. And that's why we hit the graveyards. All right.
No plan, no problem.
Go blank.
Scorching hot.
Copied. So there goes our hand. Gross. It's pretty good. And there's a Shieldred. Yeah. Holy smokes, Chandra's insane. Three, 4, 5. Okay, so we can't bring Kaheera to hand because we have to have Hall just in case they attack with Shieldred. Adding 2 mana. Holy smokes.
Have a gift.
That's pretty scary. Maybe they're just doing it for the loyalty? Not sure. Bone Crusher. So if they don't attack, though, we can scry. Another Invoke. Holy smokes. Oh, that copies it twice. Oh my gosh! That's so good. Are they gonna attack? Did not think so. Okay, let's take a look. We need to find Supreme Verdict ASAP. All right. On to game 3. Holy smokes, Chandra is a house. Wow, all right, now we're on the play. I like Farewell. I like some number of Make Disappears. Let's do that. All right. Let's run this. We're on the play, so that's good, right? I like being on the play. Game 3, Rakdos, mid-range. Yes, please. Yeah, this hand's playable. Just think of that turn sequencing, though. Had it not been for that Chandra, we would have been doing some pretty disgusting things. We were doing disgusting things for him. We were firmly in the lead there until that Chandra hit the battlefield. So, gotta be on the lookout for Chandra this game. Chandra plus Invoke Despair is disgusting. All right. Opponent is in the tank, it would appear. Wonder what they're up to. What are they pondering? Well, while the opponent waits, we'll take a swig of some ice cold water. Connection error, maybe? That would be unlucky. Well, not how I wanted to start the video, but it is a W. Yeah, we take W's. Since our opponent didn't want to play with us, we found a new one. Yeah, this hand's pretty decent. Go Vantress Plains. Seems good. Well, the opponent's got some really cool sleeves. Looks like they're drinking some Halo, I think is what it's called. From New Capena. Alrighty. So they put one back. They're on a mulligan of 6. Yeah, 6. Blackclave Cliffs, and it's a beauty. Alright, well, we've got some counter magic to play with. Alright, so Grixis. Grixis. Shipwrecked Marsh? Shipwreck Marsh. Ooh. Let's go ahead and veto that. We always love countering Fable. Turn 4, just casting Bone Crusher Giant. Well, yeah, we'll counter that. They've only got one land up. We'll counter that. Oh, and they scoop. All right, well, that's a bit of a hasty scoop. I mean, we don't know exactly what they're playing, but we can see very similar things from Rakdos. We're going to be on the draw, so make disappears. We can take those out. Cut and absorb. Cut a lockdown. And we'll run it like this, I think. Not having seen... Yeah, let's put a Wanderer in there, too. Run this. Alrighty. Game 2 against Grixis mid-range, maybe? I don't know. We didn't see too much. This hand is pretty good if what we suspect is happening is actually happening. Thoughtseize turn 1. Sure. Let's see what they take. Veto. Probably. Yeah. Well, we'll lead with Hallowed Fountain, and that is our best turn 1 play possible. Hive. Alright, we will play Plains and pass. There's a Fable, that's pretty good. We'll just keep the board clear here. We don't have counter magic, and they probably know we don't have counter magic, so... Let's see, they discard 2 lands. A little bit land heavy of a hand. Play Shipwreck Mars and just pass. Okay. Well, now we've got Emperor. They don't know about that. We'll pass back here. So we could potentially go Emperor into Cat, which is pretty good. And they scoop. I don't know why, but that is a W. Moving up. Moving up to Plat. Alright. We'll play one more. Both of our opponents not wanting to play against Azorius control on the ladder. I understand. I actually think our first opponent had a little bit of connectivity problems, probably. All right. Third match with Azorius control. This hand's good. We will keep. We've got early game interaction and some draw spells. Doesn't get much better than this against an unknown opponent. We'll lead with Farmland and on the play, too. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Thought Seize. Okay, well, read 'em a wheat, friend. Our hand's pretty decent. They're going to take the veto, sure. All right. Play Island past turn. Is this mono black? Is this Dimir control? Is this Rakdos? Ooh, Dimir. Second Thoughtseize. Well, I want to draw a land here. All right, cool. So if they're Dimir control, they're going to take Deluge. Yeah. Makes sense. All right, we'll just play that. I thought you could argue that you just play it untapped to represent a counter spell. Kaito Shizuki.
You'll never see me coming.
Make a token.
I've got all kinds of connections.
All right, so it's rogues, I believe. All right, that phases out. We can draw. We have to draw, I guess. And we've got Wandering Emperor. Although they've likely got fatal pushes, things of that nature.
I know something you don't know.
Alright, they discard the Heartless Act. Nighthawk Scavenger. Okay. Pretty good. I think that changes our play then. Do they have a Spell Pierce? That would be pretty brutal. Cling to Dust, sure. Ooh, huh? Well, we'll take these two. Didn't love that. All right, well, we're taking a bit of a risk here by not wrathing, because obviously they could have a counter spell. We're going to take the 3 and see if they have a follow-up. Because if they play a creature here, obviously Supreme Verdict's just better. Thoughtseize. Alright, well, see if the Wandering Emperor resolves. Hopefully it does. It does. Okay.
I've learned much during my travels. Let me show you.
We'll let that resolve. Probably taking the Verdict. They could take the Make Disappear. We'll see. Hovering over Make Disappear. And they take the Make Disappear. Can't cast it this turn. think we still minus. Alright, gain 2.
I am almost sad to see you go.
Alright, well that... Let's just make a dude, make a person, a samurai.
Guards, to
Pass
me.
back. They likely have a removal spell. Fairy Mastermind, sure. So again, same situation basically. We let this hit, we wait. Alright, now I think we actually just play it.
I'm not overconfident.
We let that
Now
resolve.
this is a juicy secret.
You're done.
You're done. Alright, this time we actually have something to put our +1/+1 counter on. So we will tick up Wandering Emperor here.
Strike fast and strike hard.
We will attack Kaito. They almost assuredly have a removal spell. Do they not? Wow. Alright.
You're good, but I'm better.
Well, there's no reason to not cast this right now. I think we're supposed to counter this with Casualty. We will counter the Soaring Thought Thief. On Arena, you got to make sure you don't accidentally hit your own and make disappear. Hopefully they don't have another creature. Excellent. Now they can kill with Hive, but if they want to waste their... Not waste, but if they want to use their entire turn to kill Wandering Emperor, sure.
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
Honestly, it might be correct. Obviously, I don't know what's in their hand. They discard an island. They play Underground River, and they fire up Hive. Yep. They get to exile one of our Deluges. Let's draw Teferi.
Until next time, then.
That is not Teferi. Alright, pass turn. Castle Ardenvale and Hive. Very rough. Both of them pretty darn good against us. Creature land and a draw spell. This Kaito's been in play basically all game.
Now this is a juicy secret.
All right, they're trying to decide what they want to discard here. Really in the tank about that. All right, they discard Agadim's Awakening. We will make a token. Now, they can flash in all they want here, but then they got to be aware of we have Verdict. They know about Verdict, too. Cling to Dust. Yeah, we never hit our 7th land, unfortunately. Oh, well, wouldn't you know it. Alright. Fatal Push. Soaring Thought Thief. They block. Alright, pass back. Bring Kaheera to hand. We're doing a good job of not letting them really touch our life total. Unfortunately, this Kaito's just been on the board all game long.
Our eyes are
They make a
everywhere.
token. Can't be blocked. Pretty decent. And they can attack with Hive again. Yep. Nothing of importance, though, now in the graveyard, so... They already ate our 3 memory. Well, we got, yeah, they've eaten all 3 of them. Sheesh. Let's get this out of our hand, right? Play Kaheera. Play the kitty. Play a land pass. Do they have another removal spell? Thieves Guild. Alright. It grows. Heartless Act, yep. Yeah, and they get to draw a card with Kaito. This is ridiculous.
Now, what do we have here?
Into the story. Pretty good. Well, another temporary lockdown will do. They've got 1,000,008 cards in hand. Holy smokes. We're still at 13, though. This dang Kaido's doing work.
Oh, that's some serious counter.
And
I've got all kinds of
they play a second Kaito after they
no secret is
play the
safe
ninja.
from me.
Make another ninja.
Bet you can't catch us.
What's the... There's no way that resolves, right? They just ended the story. We'll just pass. Another Thought Thief. Yep. What is this at? 1. It upticks to 3? Right? No, it upticks to 2, so... Oh, they're Yo-going me. Do they have another removal spell? They do. Alright, Hall's good. Deluge? Not the worst card to have in the bin. So we can Verdict and still have Field. Oh my gosh. I don't think they're going to be activating that anytime soon. I think we just get Hive off the table. Sure. We Verdict. This is at 2. Yeah. Sure. Go searching. We haven't drawn a Teferi yet, which is very strange. Very strange. Fairy Mastermind. Okie doke. Attacking, so they probably have a removal spell for our Hall. Or they just want to draw a card, I mean.
I know something you don't know.
Play Lock Lane, pass. Or, well. They haven't passed yet. Okay. Attack. All right. Spell Pierce. Yep. Five. Go to 2. Oh, no. Go to 0. All right. Good game. All right. So... Well, I like Divine Smite. I like Rest in Peace. I like Settle. I like Veto. I like Shark. I like Mystical Dispute. It's a cheap counterspell. I even like Hullbreaker Horror. We're going to cut Absorbs. It's just very expensive. Temporary Lockdown's very good. Probably trim it to Teferi. Trim Deluges in some amount. And make disappear. Something like that. Reason it's okay. Oh yeah, we can't have Kaheera. Alright. Alrighty. Well, we'll run this. Admittedly, this is a matchup I haven't played a whole ton of. I've played on the other side, actually, on my YouTube channel, but as an Azorius player, I have not played against Dimir Rogues too much. If at all. It's definitely a rogue deck. Alright, on the play. This hand is not great. We do have a cycle. We can go Hall, Plains, Beach, Cycle with the Verdict. Let's keep it. What the heck? What the heck? Actually, we could go haul. Oh, they have a Thoughtseize? No. Thieves Guild, yeah. Alright, I'll mill this over Dispute. They play a Hall of their own. Cycle Farmland. Settle. I like that. Wonder how much removal they took out. All right. We're going to X1 here. Attempt to trade. I'm sure they cut a ton of their removal. They definitely have Shieldred's Edict still. Fatal Push. Oh, okay, they kept Fatal Push in. Interesting. We'll just burn a Verdict. I play Fairy Mastermind. No. We are mono 4-drops dot deck right now. Kaito Shizuki. Yep.
There are many secrets I don't know.
You want to make a creature? What you gonna do with that Kaito? Make a creature.
I've got all kinds of connections.
Kind of want to play this and make a creature. Yeah, let's do that while they're tapped out.
I've learned much during my travels.
And then
We must
obviously they can
protect the
attack.
people.
I can't block. They can attack here. Just attacking me. Okay, so they have a backup plan for Emperor. Oh, no, they decide against it. Maybe. Okay, yeah. Seems good.
I'm
They're gonna
not
draw a card.
impressed.
There's no secret I can't uncover.
Brazen Borrower. Or Petty Theft, rather. I'm gonna make a 1-drop. Wow, what a good draw. Do they have a Spell Pierce? That'd be brutal. Oh, they can't counter it, duh. Excellent. Kill that thing.
Oh, there will be a next time.
Put a +1 counter there. Keeps
Remember
out of
your
range.
training.
Okay. That's a good draw. Yep, they attack for 1 at our Wanderer. Pass
Big
back.
mistake. We've got the edge in this fight.
Alright, we're getting aggressive. Fire it up. Fire it up. Soaring Thought Thief, sure. Alright. Take 10. Take 10. We are playing Azorius aggro, baby! So, let's see what they've got. The key was Kaito last game. I am sure of it. Like, they had Kaito 4 days. Ever since turn 3, really, I think. Go back and watch it. Let me know in the comments below. Type turn 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5, whatever turn they played it. Type that in the comments below. Let me know. All right, they mill over a Emperor and a land to kill our Emperor.
Back to wandering.
Oh, do they have a removal spell? Ah, that was a good draw. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can play around. Let's play around Mystical Dispute as well. Because we win here. Disdainful Stroke. Can't play around that. I got another removal spell? Soaring Thought Thief. Yeah. So I can block here, chump there. Yep. Nope. Yeah, I think that's their best block. Because they eat our shark, we eat their ninja. Cling, yeah, okay, don't matter. Just draws on a card, that's pretty good. They're a long way off of their haul. Now they gotta decide, are they gonna attack? Just with one. All right. Well, I think when we, on our turn, we just attack with the one. Sure. They got a flash creature? So they could have Haul already. Granted, we just eat their Haul and then bash with our Haul. Another Cling. Yep, they draw a card. That's good. That's good news. That's definitely not the best thing they could be doing with their mana. They milled over Hullbreaker. Well, We just do this. No counterspell. All right, make them have it, right? Yeah. Do we make them have it again? Kaito. Okay.
Powerful won't help. Bet you can't catch us.
They're at 3. They have less than 12 minutes. They're going to draw a card.
I know something you don't know.
Man, how good would that rest in peace have been? Alright, well, they got a counterspell. Spell Pierce, they sure do. Alright, well. Try and kill him. Another Drowning Lock, of course. Yep. And a Thieves Guild. Gross. Yeah. I get to draw a card. This Kaito coming in clutch yet again. It's a tough matchup. Very much like Spirits, where they create a clock and then they protect their clock, right? And they tag our Deluge. Is that our 4th Deluge? No, that was last game. Thoughtseize, yeah, take that. That's pretty good. Down to 1. Thinking. Okay. Think away, my friend. I don't like... You can't even respond to thinking with, like, right on or okay. All right. Well... That Thoughtseize was really good, because we would have been able to... No, we wouldn't have been able to, actually. We wouldn't have been able to Wrath and fire up Castle. Now we basically do have to chump, though. Do they have the removal spell? They probably have a Fatal Push. Drowning a Lock times 3. They can't pay for this. We get to live another turn. Man, if we were only at 11, we could win the game here. All right, go to 7. We get to draw a card. That's not going to be good enough. They've had 3 Drown in the Locks this game. That's crazy. And a Fatal Push. Fatal Push I don't think should be in against us still. Drown in the Lock makes sense, obviously, but Fatal Push seems very narrow. What do I know, though? All right, what you got? Firing up. Firing up. All right. If we could draw a Field of Ruin or something.
There's no secret I can't uncover.
Oh. Do they have the counterspell? They have 4 Drown in the Locks. My goodness. Okay, well. That will do. All right, well, we go 2-1. All right, so we go 2-1 today. Not a bad performance. Again, I think that Rogues deck is a bit of a sticky matchup because, again, they can instant speed, create a threat, protect them very well. It also attacks our library. If you're a Azorius aficionado, you know that actually Nil is pretty good against Azorius control, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is there at the end. Yeah, I had a ton of fun, though. Thank you, Quiet Speculation, for having me on to do one of these articles and videos. Again, if you haven't read the article yet, head on over to quietspeculation.com. Check out this week's article alongside all of the amazing content over there on quietspeculation.com. #1 source for Magic the Gathering finance and strategy on the internet. I've got now 5 pieces up over there. You can go check that out. And again, I am LessAlex. I stream on Twitch weekdays at 9 a.m. Central. You can check that out over at twitch.tv/LessAlex. I have a YouTube channel, LessAlex. And if you want to chop it up with me elsewhere, hit up Twitter at LessAlex over there as well. So thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you did enjoy. Like I said, I've been having a ton of success and a ton of fun with this deck. This is my wheelhouse. This is my wheelhouse. Azorius Control. I love this deck. This format is pretty good. I know that, you know, a lot of people are saying this deck isn't very good right now, but I think if you commit to it, you play it, you really practice it and learn each line, it's a very high ceiling and rewarding deck. But let me know what you thought about the video. Like, of course, comment down below what you thought. Comment down below, made it to the end if you made it to this point. And, of course, subscribe. Subscribe to Quiet Speculation's YouTube channel. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. Keep spreading that Azorius propaganda. Adios.